Ashley from Stampingjoo.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make this cute, easy card using the True Love Designer Series paper. So I realized that I had purchased this paper and hadn't used it yet. We have this paper in the January to June mini catalog, and it's pretty cool. It's just black and white. It has lots of different designs. Just like our other paper, it has two different sides, and you get two papers of each design. So this is the one that I used because I wanted to cut out this trio of flowers. I guess it has 4 flowers, and color it. But there's so many different things that you can do with this. Just gonna quickly show you some of the other papers and what their backgrounds are. You got some stripes. And what's fun is even if you don't like florals, this has the reverse side of really kind of neutral type designs that you can use on different cards. Isn't that pretty? And that's the one that I used. All right, so let's get started. I have the Flirty Flamingo cardstock as my card base, and then I did Granny Apple Green and then the designer paper. This is the actual opposite side of that one there. So let's see, where's my bone folder? All right, I always use my bone folder to fold my cards and then get that nice crease. So you start off your paper, finish off your paper. And the first part is super easy. We're just gonna glue those 2 layers together. I'm just using my Tombow liquid glue. This is kind of nice. It gives you a little bit of leeway as far as trying to make your edges even, because it doesn't dry right away. So we're just going to put that on like that. So I'm just going to glue that to my card like that. And I wanted this kind of at the bottom part of the card. And now what's great about this paper, the designer paper, is that you can use it just black and white. And I mean, honestly, had I have just cut that and added it on there, it would make a really pretty accent. But I decided to use my Stampin' Blends. So I used my Granny Apple Green and then my Flirty Flamingo. And of course it has the light and the dark. So to start, I'm just going to be using the light Flirty Flamingo. I'm using my brush tip. And I'm just coloring all of the flower. This part goes fairly quickly. If you want, you can leave a little bit of white space at the end of your flowers. It just adds a little bit more highlight. So I'm just gonna do that real quick. So now that I've done the light part, I'm going to go back with my darker Flirty Flamingo. I use the brush tip for this too. And the great part about this image is it actually has the shading that you really want right on it already. So you can just go from the bottom and just shade the black parts. We're just gonna go all the way around our flowers. If you want, you can go back with your lighter color and just blend that out, but you don't really have to, because once it dries a little bit lighter so that you can see more of less of a contrast, I guess, so it looks a little bit better. So now that the flowers are done, I'm just gonna go in with my Granny Apple Green. So first the lighter color again. And you have this giant leaf here that you can color. And then our little stem. Not a lot of coloring, but just enough that it just pops. You can go with the smaller tip if you want, or the bigger tip. Isn't that pretty? All right, and then a tiny little bit on our stem. Okay, so now it's fully colored. So the next step is just to use our paper snips and just cut around our edges. I just wanted a tiny little white border on these. It's always nice when we have like a die or a punch or something, but occasionally we have to do this fussy cutting. It takes a little bit, but it is really worth it. I find a lot of my customers tell me that they like to cut in front of the TV while they're watching a show or something, so it can go a lot less tedious that way. And the trick is to move your paper instead of the scissors. I find it helps kind of cut better that way. rather than trying to move my scissors to be in the right spot. All right, so I have cut these with my paper snips. It really does make a difference to have a really nice, sharp, pointy set of scissors. Don't just use a kitchen scissors. It's worth getting the good cutting scissors. So now that we have that, it's going to go on our paper like this. There's one less step. I'm going to use my dark Daffodil Delight and just color the middle part of the flower. Not exactly sure what kind of flower this is. I don't have a green thumb, but they're pretty. All right, we're gonna do our greeting. And for that, I'm just using our basic white cardstock. It used to be called Whisper White, and now it's called Basic White. Same great quality, just a different supplier. So we're going to use our greeting about here. Doesn't matter because I'm just using it on a scrap paper. And that greeting is from the stamp set Peaceful Moments. I'm going to use my Timeless Label Punch, which fits it perfectly. I was kind of looking for one that would, and surprisingly, this one is just perfect for it. Okay, like that. And then I'm using the ribbon. This comes in a 2-pack. It's from the Flowers for Every Season pack, and it has this one and, geez, I think it's a blue one that comes in it, but I can't exactly remember. I should look that up, but I will post the products in my blog post so that you can see everything that I've used today. And we just want a piece just kind of that matches together. This one's still a little bit long. And I wanted to glue together to the left-hand side here of my paper. So about there maybe. Yeah. Let's see, is that straight? About there. And I'm just going to use some of our tear and tape, and this stuff is super strong. That's what I love about it. And it tears off so nicely. So I just want that to connect, and then like that. Now with the rest, I'm going to actually use my dimensionals. I love using dimensionals on cards. It just, I don't know, I think they're just better than having a fully flat card. So for this one here, I'm going to use a bunch because there's a lot of little spots. And then once you're done putting your dimensionals on it, what I do is I just kind of poke my fingernail into each one, and it just raises the sides. It makes it a little bit easier to get those backings off. Now the first time I made this card, I put my flowers a little bit too much to the middle. So I'm going to place my greeting about where it's going to go, and then place my flowers just so that I can see where I need to put them. Because what happened the first time is I actually placed the flowers here and then I didn't have room for my greeting. So learn from my mistakes. All right, we're gonna put that there. And I'm gonna pop up the greeting as well. These are our larger sized dimensionals. We have mini ones too, which are really great. You can see how small these are, and they're great for going into small spots. So I use both. Take those backings off. See how quick this card puts itself together? And honestly, with the designer paper in this pack, it will go with so many different greetings, so many different card designs. All right, the last thing I did is I took some of my pearls and my dark Granny Apple Green. And what's great about our Stampin' Blends is they're alcohol based. And so you can color right on there. The color will dry and then it'll be permanent, which is so nice because then you can make your pearls any color that you want. Let's see, get that to dry a little bit. And another use for your paper snips is I can open them and I can just take my pearl right off. It has a glue dot on the back. And what I actually did with my other ones is I just kind of put it on paper first just so that it gets that little bit of ink color off. And you can place those wherever you feel you like them. I just kind of put mine here And then I did a smaller one beside that one. And there you go. Now, as a last step, I really love my Wink of Stella. So you can take your Wink of Stella if you want, and you can start adding a little bit of that glimmer. Can you see the glimmer as I add it on there? So pretty. And if you can see the difference between this flower and this flower, it just does add that beautiful glittery shimmer. You can do the whole flower if you choose, or you could just do some of the highlights like where it's dark. But look at that. So beautiful. And this stuff goes on in like seconds. Like that. And I can do this one. My first card, I hadn't added it, but I tend to always want to pull that out. I always have it like within arm reach when I'm stamping, because it's an inexpensive way really to add something extra to your card. Instead of that flat paper, it now becomes glittery. I'm even going to glitter some of this leaf. Look how pretty it is. Let's see if I can show you that on camera. Hopefully you can see it, but it is so beautiful in person. So this paper here right now is in our mini catalog that is good till the end of June, or while supplies last, because if they do sell out, then they're not going to keep it in stock. So if you do like this one, it will not be making it into the next annual catalog, so definitely get it now. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!